right. Here we're going. Let's have a second here. What? Ah, damn it. All right, here we go. Should give people a chance to come in. All right, let's see what's going on. Well, I'm back for my presentation. The one you saw on Saturday, it should be up. The one I have here, managed to pound it without going into all sorts of crazy stuff. Managed to finish in 30 minutes faster than the one I have online. But that will be up with a Position Light blog post at some point soon. It's a good way to cap off the whole PR signal documentation project. But anyway, we're still in 2004, and I want to get this going to go to sleep tonight and not lose my voice. So I'm just going to do with part 2 of my 2004 ACMU trip. The ACMU 1100s we're in the first part. Now we're just doing some New York City subway stuff. So right now I want to see what that is. Let people get on here. Huh. Look, one number 54. Oh, it's an R41. That's one of those weird things. It's like R should be for revenue, but work engines are not revenue. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to get going here. I'm just going to continue on. So last we were saying I was taking this from the side of, I think, an R68 on the West End line, which in 2004 was a D service. I think it still is, but it was then. I think this is an R41 work engine at the Stillwell Ave yard. I did a little more research, so I'm not going to be quite as lost as I am today. Stillwell Yard is adjacent yet distinct from the Coney Island Yard, although it is controlled from the Coney Island Master Tower, which is not one of those new style Master Tower either. It's an old school Union switch and signal, probably a Union route board from the 1970s. Here we have some D68s at Stillwell Yard. Stillwell is just a ready yard for certain, I think, C Beach and D line trains, these being the D line. $25.34 being one example of a unit. Here we have the Stillwell Yard, and what can be considered a tower. Let me just pull this up. So there it is that that thing right there. So we go to the description in this wonderful. Oh damn it, lost it. It just went all over the place. Here it is. If we zoom in, this was done in 1971, although the control panel was seemed to be redone. So in that, and by going into it, you can see that it was indeed this thing here. So this is, what is it? Stillwell Avenue. Oh, what switch is that in the foreground? Probably can figure it out if I look hard enough. So how many? It's probably the 815 switch. Yeah, that's the 815 switch right there in the foreground. What's the name of this? Just Stillwell? Stillwell Ave. Yeah, NYC Subway is very interesting in how much redundancy and stuff it has. You can run almost like the CTA as well. You can run a lot, and everything normally has a maintainers panel, but they'll have like auxiliary control. You can run a interlocking off the maintainers panel, and it's been done a couple of times for various reasons. But they'll have like auxiliary control panels. So like this one indicates that it's it's a C Beach line Stillwell Avenue control. That means in theory you can control something from here, which is at the Stillwell Avenue master control panel at Coney Island Yard Master Tower. So the master tower has a master control panel, but this just shows that there is also a control segment for Stillwell Ave. And here there's a maintainer panel and a maintainer's indication. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I think it's just a maintainer's panel, but anyway, sorry about that. Just trying to keep getting through. And now we're into that scissors crossover I saw there with the 833 and 835 switches and points. Again, we'll confirm this there. 833, 835, with the 833 being the nearer one. So this is the first side of the thing. Is that A or B? Let's see. It's going to be A and B. And of course we have the US&S Model 4 or GRS Model 4 switch machine. If anyone was wondering what the Model 4 was, given the ubiquity of the Model 5. Here we have entering the 4-track bridge. Again, let's just check which signals those are. I'm not sure exactly what the 4-track bridge is. Oh, man. Those are probably the 840 and 832 signals. Huh. Well, I can try to. Yeah, see, I can't zoom in enough. This is not a lot of resolution on these. Oh, here it is. Here's something. The 837 switch. So let's see where we are. Yep, there's 837. So it's the 832 and something else. Sort of incomplete information here. Just say 832 and 830X, maybe. I don't know. So it's 837B? Just 837. Okay. That's way oversized. Shoot. Oh, whatever. X842. Yeah, so now we're at there's the other one. What's that one? 846. So it's 842 rear and 846. What's this one? Something. Sort of coming up that rebuilt Stillwell Avenue terminal. I think it was rebuilt at this time. I can't remember. Yep, there's 846. And that other one, 852. So it's 842 rear. $846. And what's the other one? 852. Another thing to note is the separation of the Coney Island, the Stillwell Avenue terminal from the actual Coney Island shop complex. Here we have another MTA work car. Here's the old Stillwell Tower. I don't know what's in there now. I think it's a crew base. Might be part of a museum. But has not been in service for some time. It's the end of the D track. If we were wrong one. Track H at the Stillwell Ave terminal, which has 1, 2, 3, 4 platforms. So it's the end of the stub platforms. Our D train number 2728, that appears to be. Nice picture. Sometimes, you know, you got decent pictures out of the old camera. The Stillwell Tower is seen from the street. I guess that that new terminal and the arch and everything is still under construction. Let me do a quick. Let me do a crop on this. Never did a lot of New York City subway stuff. I mean, it's just so long to get places and whatnot, but I should probably do more of it. If I lived there, I'd definitely do more of it. And there's our D train with the this tower. I believe that what I was doing with my friend is that due to the reconstruction, there was no through service. But they had a special like Metro card. You could get like a rare like third. You could normally Metro card. You can get in. You get one free transfer. there's a bunch of situations where you can get 2 transfers because they have out of like they call them Metro card transfers. So if I enter a subway station, then within 2 hours I exit and then walk to another designated station. It doesn't matter where I really exit, but it's intended to exit and go to a designated station. You can swipe in again, and then I could go to another one and then get on a bus. There was a thing in with this where I could go get on. Get off, get on a specific bus, get off the bus, get on the subway, the bus shuttle. It wasn't like a shuttle bus, but it was like a regular bus. Get on the shuttle, which was acting as a shuttle, and then you can get on the subway, and then you get off again and like use another bus. So it was like a very, very odd sort of arrangement. I'm not sure we did that this time, but I did do it because my New York City friend, was really, really, really wanted to just do 3 transfers on a Metro card. Here we have a R slant 40 on the B. Also note here a bit of the signaling that the New York City subway often does not support reverse movements, even with like a Form D, because you have fixed stop signals. They literally have to go and dismantle them to be able to to do some sort of reverse running. I'm not sure where this is. This is probably like right as it's leaving the oh gosh, right as it's leaving the ramp. Yeah, that's what we did. That's exactly what we did. This was closed. They were doing some sort of reconstruction. So the B's were terminated in Ocean Parkway, and they had this bus bridge that would allow you to get on some sort of bus and take it to Ocean Parkway. And I think that if we were within X hours or whatever, we could then make we could transfer on, and then we could make a third connection to another bus or one of those walking transfers, which we did. So we got 3 transfers on a Metro card. Woo! Exciting. So yeah, we got on that B at Ocean Parkway. Oh, it might have been Sheepshead Bay. Wherever the expresses terminate. And then that picture is that B train going down the ramp onto wherever it starts the above ground section, I think. So the C Beach line, unlike the other L's going down to Coney, was actually, I think, a steam railroad way back in the day, a little rapid transit steam line. That's why it's built, like a railroad. So what street is this? Neptune Ave. Oh, that's the first round of stuff. Oh, a ready yard in transit is, I mean, they can be part of regular yards, but a ready yard is pretty much where you have, where trains can be stored during the midday or even overnight, and they can rapidly go from the yard to the platform and then out again. A lot of times, many of the stations at more long-term storage yards or facilities, it requires a bit more, getting the train through the yard complex and then out to the station. So ready yard is basically like, some number of tracks where the trains basically have direct access to the platform. If we go to this schematic diagram, you can see that of these four, you have the two main lines coming in, and then right down the middle, you have this fan of about 10-yard tracks. One, two, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tracks. That's at least 9 trains that can be stored there during the rush, and they just can pull them out one after another to go populate the tracks there. Whereas like the full Coney Island yard, you can get buried in it. Let's see here. Nope, wrong one. On the non-diagram here. Go over to where the Coney Island yard is. So like the Stillwell Ready yard is like these guys right here, and they can go right down. Whereas trains stored in this track at Coney probably have to make at least one reverse move to get to a station. They have to head up there onto some sort of tail track. There's A and B tail tracks up there, and then make a reverse move to get into the station. These ready tracks, the train just pulls right forward, and they can reverse on the platform. So all these storage tracks at Coney take a little bit. Some yards will have both ready service tracks and more long-term storage or overhaul tracks. Fern Rock has both the north and south ready service areas. Next. This is, I'm pretty sure, is Kings Highway. Oops, that's not good. Just trying to straighten this guy. There we go. I think that, yeah, this is pretty sure this is King. Yeah, that's it's Sheepshead Bay. This is where my New York friend would get on. This was his home station for a while. Can't really do to cut off a lot of this stuff at the bottom because can't narrow it too much, but I'll get a little bit. I just need a little more straightening. Qs, I'm pretty sure we're using R68s. The blandest train, like the blandest freaking class on the New York City subway. God, they're worse even than the new stuff because they're decrepit inside. I will not be missing them. The 46s are also pretty bad. At least they were built by like Pullman. Here we have a Q68 approaching that major interlocking on the line. I think it's Kings Highway. It's one of the very, very rare complete 4-track interlockings on the New York City subway. Because they don't really account for reverse direction operation. Most of their 4-track lines have crossovers that only facilitate crossing over between the local and express. Between directions, they'll only have one like trailing switch, that like British style. So you'd have to make a reverse move to wrong rail. Man, if I knew how fast the railfan windows were going to vanish on the New York City subway, I would have gone up there more. These photos from 2014, and I think that the RFWs were out the door by around like 2000. I mean, like on the slants and the 38s were gone by like 2010. I was up there a bunch, but again, it was in that era where I just did not have very good cameras, and night shots are tough, and no real video capacity. I did the best I could, but I started, when I started working in 2006, and that just cramped more time. Here we have a great shot of all four signals at the. Oh, you're right. I was wrong. It's not a complete 4-track crossover. All they have is a single little trailing point job between the directions. So, it's called a Form D, losers. Little didn't quite get this one timed right, but this is a really good photo because it shows off that 1960s vibe that the slants had. It was a Raymond Loewy design, so same your buddy from the of GG1 and U.S. Coast Guard fame. Oh wait, no, that's a Saul Bat. I think that's Saul. No, it is Raymond Loewy. Anyway, which station is this? Shoot. Something after Kings Highway, that's for sure. With side platforms. Damn, I keep going to the wrong thing. No. That's Avenue M. Could be that. I have to find that. That smokestack. Or maybe some buildings in the background. Huh, there's the old Warner Brothers studios are there. Oh, that is a smokestack. Okay, great. This is Avenue M. Wow, I didn't think I'd actually see that. Famous Vitagraph smokestack. Cool. Oh, I guess it was now demolished. That's a shame. Wow. See what you capture when you look through all the pictures? Wow, there it is. Here we have, this is where it is descending into the cut. Oh, I can't see the signals here, but I guess I can just describe it by location of avenue as opposed to having to go by the chaining numbers off the signals. It's one good thing on the New York City subways. There's usually a signal in sight, so you can usually just label your photo with the signal numbers is a form of chain. Is basically quote unquote a subway milepost chaining, 100-foot chains. So you can just use that. Where's the ramp? There's the ramp. Right after Avenue H. So this is around Glenwood Road. Forester Ave. What station's that? God, I keep going to the wrong place. I guess it's Newkirk Plaza. Just don't know if I should put the line name. I probably should. Can't nav. Oh, this is an express stop. This is probably that one where where the Franklin Avenue shuttle terminates. Church Ave. Is that what that is? Can't nav. Where the hell's that? Ocean. What? Let's look at what else I have here. Oh, I probably started too early. Go backwards. It looked like an express stop, too. Avenue H, Newkirk Plaza. Huh, I just don't know. The bridge is labeled. Oh, there's Can't Nav. Alright, well, what station is that then? Oh, it's not the beginning of the station, it's the end of it. It's the end of Church Ave. Okay. I guess I could look on the pylons too. Duh. Duh. You have Crook Ave. These little mini tunnels are super cute. The Sea Beach has a lot of these. The Ocean Ave. Overpass. Here we are coming up on the next interlocking. I can just pull this up in the schematic. Sea Beach, West End, Brighton. It's probably going to be Prospect Park. Prospect Park's the one that's it's got the full crossover. There we go. That's got to do because of the Franklin Avenue shuttle. The Franklin Avenue shuttle connection here. But this is a Q train. I was going to label it with that. Q68 plus Brighton line int. Oh. That'll capture enough data in the thing for me. And here we have the Prospect Park int itself. New York City subway generally only will have a unique signal per diverging or facing point turnout. So this is so they can do their whole weak route signaling. So you always know where you're diverging because every diverging choice has its own signal. This signal being specifically these two are 364 DeKalb. These are going to be out of DeKalb. 364, 368. .364 sig clear. I think it's 364. Oh, no, it's 368. Plus 364 signal plus 54. The 355 and 353 354 and 353 things. Okay, hold on. 54 or 58 54 plus 355 switch plus 353 switch. There we go. Last one. This is just one of those interesting. I'm not sure where this was. Oh shoot, I really don't. Maybe I know, and maybe a previous version of me knew where the heck this was. Or maybe I can read the sign. Oh, F and V. It's the F and V split. So a lot of the routing on New York City subway still has punch boxes. In this case, they're trying to. I think this is at 47th, 53rd Tower. And they put up little things because they don't want to have misroutes. That can really scoop your rush hour. So yeah, this is IND Rockefeller Center. Which at the time was the see, once it went below ground, I wasn't getting any more fixtures. Let me just check this real quick. 6th Ave line, Broadway Loft, 50th Street. Yeah, here it is. It's 50th Street interlocking, which is actually a tower. It's automatic. I don't think there's a V anymore. Or as I like to call it, I just called the V train the 5 train and then complained that they had 2 5 trains. And then the M would be the 1000 train. Okay, we have a double assortment here. A couple more on the New York City subway, and then we're gonna head into. For some reason, why the heck was I getting off at Princeton? Why was I at Princeton Junction? That's weird. Oh, this was during spring break. And you know what I did? There was some Tech Talk or something I was seeing at Princeton. I don't think it was very good. I barely remember it. But that's why I stopped off at Princeton. I remember having to buy like a ticket from Princeton Junction to Trenton. I don't think it would even cost that much, but this tower's still there with the automatic sign, etc., etc. But you can look in that tower. It has a, it still has. I mean, as far as I'm aware, it still has the panel machine in there, the NX machine. So it's still very much a tower. In fact, I can pull. I mean, I had it pulled up. Yep, 6th Avenue line, 50th Street control. That means the control of this is 50th Street, and that unless they changed it in their recent tower closings, but I was not aware that they needed to, because it's mostly automatic unless they need it to not be that. 34th Street was where they really do all the processing, so they're happy to have the guy just do whatever. And you have GRSNX dispatcher indication panel. Where's the? I think they have a dispatcher panel at 57th Street for some odd reason. All right. Anyway, enough of staring at that stuff. Here we have one of the CP valves at the platform for the platform extenders at Times Square. I wonder if these count as an interlocking. Let's find out. Probably Flushing, Lex 7th Ave, Times Square. Not really seeing it. I'll hide it under a station. I'll hide it under a station thing. Maybe it is Times Square. Let's just see what it is on the other one. Times Square, zoom in. Shuttle track doesn't say what's up with any of that, so not much I can really do. Anyway, sorry about that. Gap filler. So these CP valves are right there. So when you just like the ones you have for the A5s, the train pulls in, you hear the old whoosh, and then the gap fillers expand. I think they have some electric ones somewhere, but is this the same one or is this an alternate one? I think that's the same one. Oops. Yeah, it's the same one. Finally, we're out of New York City. Yay! Wow, here's an interesting thing. A 3-car M&E Arrow train. Probably something from Gladstone. I don't even know if how they're running these on the... I guess they'd have to run short stuff on the M&E like that. They don't have a lot of those. They've even retired some of the Arrows. I can't tell what the number is. Looks like a 1500 maybe? I need to cut and see how you spell Carney. I always forget. Kearny. Not a great descriptor, but you know, and with today's camera, I would have been able to zoom right in on those numbers, unless it was just obnoxiously dark. I'm not sure what I should do here. Cut off that thing, and don't really like track mobiles. I'm just gonna cut off part of the track mobile. So here we have number 4206. Those are, I think, that's one of the GP40-2P blah, 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 rebuilds, and 4429. Again, I'm not sure if that's one of the original ones or what. Those got retired too early. I know the ALP44Ms had the dreaded software problems that no one ever seemed to be able to fix. But the other ones just got wore out. NJT didn't want to fix them, and then the feds would get. And they found the way to get the feds to buy new ones, so they just put these in storage. Again, if you're buying anything new, and especially electric, before 40 years, you've done something wrong. Here we have some signals at dock. I'm gonna go to my tower thing. I think I can do better than these. I can do a better description than that, but I have to go pull up my PRR charts. That's going to be the 84L and the 82L and the 79 and 81 switches. 84L, 82L, 79, and 81 switches. Man, I butchered that photo with bad processing, just like so many others. I'm not even going to crop anything. There's so much that's been ruined at dock. It doesn't do it any justice to take stuff out of the switch, take stuff out of here. Let's see, here we have dock 82L plus 84L plus 79 switch plus 81 switch A5. All right, that's been captured. Dock tower. Here we have a nice, wonderful shot. For people, it's hard to see the fact that dock, yes, has a PR bay window and a pretty impressive one at that. What did I call this? I think I just called this like dock front, which I wouldn't mind using that because that's all it is. Perfect. Got a winner. Let's see what I did to that photo back in the day. A little crappy. Yeah. Much less res. Here we have the lane flyover. Not a great picture here, but it is what it is. I think that's all I called it. This is probably one of the better photos I had of the lane flyer. I think this is what I identified. I was like, oh, did they put a new mast in there for the position light? They just put a little backing for people to stand on it. I don't know why. Maybe the ladder failed on the original one. Go to my signaling directory. Oh, that's right. I got this all screwed up now. But I know what the name of the thing is. I have very few pictures of a lot of those northern NEC interlockings, just because of the lack of the rail fan stuff up there. Oh, that's not it. There it is. Ugh. I don't even know what signal that's called. I actually don't have my my stuff up there. I think it's a 9W. That's what I would suspect. Done. Can kill that. Don't need that. Okay, next. So I'm gonna have a choice here. I got this one or this blown out version. I'm just gonna go with this, and I can see. That's the thing. I think I was just noticing, like, back in the day, I didn't have a lot of options to resuscitate, so I'm gonna delete that second one. That's the case where I really don't need that second photo. Everything on the NEC was single level and with AEM, basically AEM 7s. Yay. This is Princeton Junction. Geez, it's still light. I must have left the city really early. You know, when you get up at 5 a.m., you know, when you catch like a train out of Ground Central at 7:30 in the morning, you have a lot of you end up with a lot of surprisingly a lot of time. Nice picture now. The former Nassau interlocking. There's rumblings about replacing Nassau. So, despite the NEC not generally seeming to have any issues with too many interlockings, for some reason, as a cost-cutting move, Amtrak got rid of Nassau, creating a 20-mile gap between crossovers on like the highest density line in the country. It's like, okay, sure. Where's Towers? Oh, there it is. There we go. These are now gone because of the cab signals without wayside signal crap. These 740 signals were, I got a whole bunch of pictures of them before they got pulled out. What do they call that? I'm gonna rename that. Here are those pictures I have of the 740s. A lot of times I'd be taking pictures here at night. I had a friend who would go. We'd go to occasional, I would say Princeton hockey games, but not to root for Princeton. And I would often have time to hang out at the Princeton Junction station. Here's a wonderful picture, a little soft. Didn't think I'd miss these until the new replacements were worse. Actually, I don't think I ever minded. By the way, that 740 on the side had a restricting something with, I don't know, just easing flow at the station. Got me. Also, the HHP8 here is definitely doing its thing. Definitely doing its thing for pulling a long distance train. They were purchased to replace the E60s. Huh. Guess this is my first photo of 656. I didn't give it any location data. Don't really need to give it any location data either. So I'll just rename. I won't bother renaming it. Keep it the same. Amtrak 940. Yeah, I can't really crop this very well without impinging on some of the platform structure. You have to cut that Princeton Junction sign, but there's just too much track in this photo. Got to get rid of some of it. That's better. There we go. Wow, I got into a nice easy stretch. 15:25 on the dinky. Oh wow, I misnamed these, or did I? What did I do here? Oh, I saved both versions back in the day. Don't need that. Both of them were bad. Anyway. What else do we got? Oh. I'm going to cut that photo. In fact, I bet I did. At some point here, I'm going to have to go and... Well, I'm almost done, so it doesn't. I don't have to. You're not gonna be around when I have to go and do stuff. I'll just use that as the 1325 slot. Yep. Oh, got a nice cab picture here. I'm gonna consider it to be 1325. I think I labeled it in the original photos like generically Arrow 3 cab, but I'm gonna do it up as 1325's cab. And here we have this weirdo photo of the 14 whatever signals and the dude, whoever that is, standing there. And Nassau Tower. I guess it's got some ambiance. The thing is, it's still kind of light. So this was still like this, for I guess it is March. So I guess it wasn't. I was thinking it's like December. Yeah, I was doing all this stuff because I was on spring break from grad school. All right, there we go. Done, done, done. Let's see what people are saying. Yeah, the dinky. It's the Princeton shuttle. Anyway. Any of the new tech trains, I mean, they're all the ones in New York City subway are the same train. If you don't like, if you don't like them, one, they're not great. So I think that the new Bombardier cars for the BART system are a vast improvement over the Roar cars. As much as I like not the A's. The A's were good, but you so rarely caught the BART A cars. They so rarely used them because they only ran them in peak periods because they're hard to just work with because they can't be coupled mid train. The new cars are really nice. They're way better than the C cars. The C cars were useless. Full bulkhead fronts, just nothing you could do. In tunnels and everything. The new cars have a much better view out the front. The DC Metro version of the R160 aren't terrible. I don't like them as much. You know, I don't like them because they're sort of a step back. You know, the future. You know, when it's carbon steel, stainless steel, aluminum, and then when you have aluminum cars, the next car you upgrade to carbon fiber. You don't go back to stainless steel. Like, what's next? Let's start pouring concrete floors. It's just a less advanced material. So the whole point of the DC Metro is supposed to be the subway of tomorrow. Don't go turning into New York City subway, the subway of yesterday. What else new? The MFL cars are great. I'm going to reserve judgment on those Chinese ones. I'm not a fan of the Chinese corporation, but the Boston cars, the current ones, the Hawker Siddeley's are pretty bad. You get no front view. They're falling apart. The only thing they have going for them is that they have an interesting corporate name. I mean, the person who made them. Same for the other cars. The other Boston cars. The Chicago cars are pretty much the same as the old ones, so those are sort of longitudinal. All right, I gotta get going. Oh, the L, yeah. The Chicago, I said the 5000s pretty much have the same look and feel as the 3400s. I like the 2600s because they're Bud, but the ride experience internally is not any different. They need to remove that transverse seating out of the L. That just takes up too much room. They need to go to all longitudinal, or at least a lot more longitudinal. I know people hate it, but it just trying to navigate down that narrow and that narrow corridor in the middle is a pain. All right, I gotta get out of here. I gotta check on something in the garage. I'll be on every day this week, so I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow. I'll figure it out. All right, see yas.